Hi guys, in this video I'll be explaining how you can implement Apple Authentication inside your React Native application in both Expo and then in bare React Native CLI. Right? For starters, for the first part of the video, I will be explaining only about how to do that in Expo with Apple Authentication and Firebase, and in the later part of the video, I'll be explaining about the bare React Native CLI. So let's get started. Right? So first, you should have your own Expo project, right? And then in that Expo project in your terminal, go there and then run this command. Okay, so I'll go to new window and then I'll go into my project, right? And then I will install this particular command. Once I have done that, go to app.json. So once I go to app.json, what I have to do is first step is go to iOS and then add the use Apple sign in there. Okay. And the second step is I have to go and add this Expo Apple authentication at the in the plugins array. Right. Once that is done, what I have to do is I have to do npx expo prebuild. Okay. Once I did it, what happens is the what is it? This particular Apple sign in will be automatically configured in the native folders. Okay. So if you go with the bare React Native flow, what happens there is in this capability, right? Here they would have something like sign in with Apple. So sign in with Apple. Okay. So they would have it there, right? So that's the exact thing which will happen if you configure this there and then add it and then run the npx expo prebuild command, right? Once you have done this, simply run your app, npm run iOS, and then you would and then scroll down. Okay, scroll down. Here you can find all the source code required for Apple authentication in Expo, right? Copy this, and then I'm going into my folder called Firebase Auth and Apple Auth. Right, I will change this to Apple Auth, and then I'm going to copy this and then paste it inside my main file. Okay, so I'm just going to put it here. Okay, so I'm going to put it here and save it. Let's go. You can see sign in with Apple is there, right? So if I tap on sign in with Apple, it will say you need to sign in, and then I will go to settings, right? Uh, yeah, I will tap on this. Okay. Okay, I will sign in and I will get back. Okay, I have signed in here. So the next thing I have to do is go to Runix, my app, and then tap on sign in with Apple. Okay, you can see all my stuff is there. So I'm just going to tap on share my email and continue with password. So I'm going to provide my password. Okay, when I do that, you can see I'm getting these errors, right? Authorization failed and all these things. So in order to make this work, what you have to do, I will let you know. So first thing is you need to have a Apple developer account, and then in there go to app IDs and then tap on continue. Right, in the certificates and identifiers, tap on app, tap on continue. Right. Once you have done that, go to the next one, and then before that, go to your Firebase project and then tap on Apple. Okay, enable Apple as a new provider and then tap on Apple provider. Right, here you will have service ID and all these things. I will let you know one by one. Right, so I'm going to use the bundle ID as Runix Expo. Right, that one, and then I'm going to scroll down for Apple sign in. Okay, fonts and then sign in. Sign in with Apple, tap on that, tap on edit. Okay, here enable as primary ID, and then here to complete setup, add this authorization callback to your app configuration in Apple Developer Console. So I'm going to paste it here and tap on save. Okay, once I have done all those things, I will tap on Runix Expo, right? Tap on continue. You can see finish setting up sign in with Apple, enable Apple ID, get service ID for and all these things. Okay, we have done everything there and then it's done. So the next thing is all those things are configured there. Now let's try it again. Let's go back, continue with password. Okay. It says font service. Okay, it worked. I believe it worked. So let's go here in the users, but still it's not available here because in Expo, right? In Expo here, the funny part is they didn't add it with what I would say, like combine the code with Firebase. Okay, they just made sure that it works with sign in with Apple, etc. That's it. But in order to do that, I found help here where once the const ID equal to I'll go to the code base. So here, yeah, Apple Auth ID, we have this, right? And then what we have to do is we have to connect that with what? With Firebase. That's the exact thing we did with Google Auth as well. So here, once I have done that, I can get that from Auth provider, and then I can also get this from what is it, like a Firebase, right? At the top, it will be automatically updated, and then provider equal to Auth provider ID token. So here it's ID token. So I'll use this as what? ID token dot. Okay, and then the next one is this auth, right? So where is this auth? Auth, he didn't provide the auth. Okay, so we can go back to Google Auth, and then at the top get auth will be available, right? I think, yeah, I think we can use that. Sign in with credentials, get auth. Okay, correct. So we'll use this here, get auth, and then in the credentials, let's use Apple credential. Okay, Apple credentials. Sorry, credentials. Okay, Apple credentials. Once that is done, let's go back here, and then first in the ID token, let's check if this is working or not. So let's console.log this, and then we can use console.log.e of e. Okay, and then now let's check it out. So sign in with Apple. This one, sign in with password. Let's test it out. Okay, here. Okay, it worked. Right, it worked. You see, it worked. Everything worked as usual. And then the same thing, what we are going to do is we are going to literally take the code from here, and then we are going to put it here. Okay, use state, and then this one, use effect. What is this? Okay, and then one more thing, we are going to steal the code from here for all the sign out and login stuff here, and then yeah, okay, here pressable. Okay, we don't have pressable and text. Logout, we can get it from here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, sign in. Okay, we have to first check it with I can close this, check it with Firebase. Okay, didn't carry over there. Okay, provider.credential is not a function, it is undefined. Okay, so here we are getting OAuth provider, right? OAuth provider, apple.com, ID token, provider.credential is not defined. Okay. Okay, here we can do one more. So let's go here and check this out. So, oh, okay, Apple Auth provider. Get it from what is this? Apple Auth provider. Apple Auth provider. Apple Auth. Oh, okay. Here see nonce. Okay, we got the ID token. So ID token dot authorization code. Okay, so the initial Apple Auth worked, but it didn't connect that with Firebase. So we have to figure out how we can do that. So Apple Auth provider. So this is correct. Full name, Apple Authentication ID. So ID token dot authorization code. So here nonce. So there is no nonce from here, right? then we can't use, I believe, this one. So let's Apple Auth is from this, and then Auth sign in as a. Okay, we can check on Google accounts. Okay, there is no Firebase here. Okay, I got it working. I think within 5 minutes, so no problem. So I will explain what I did and how you can implement that, and I will share this source code so everyone can use it. Right? I want to remove all these things, unnecessary things. Okay. Here, what they didn't do, I will showcase. Right here, I think this is the only available solution in the internet, or other people are gatekeeping. I don't know. This didn't work. Okay, this particular solution didn't work. This is an old solution, and I think it's 2024. Now they have moved on with a new solution, right? If I reload this, you can see it worked, right? Now the thing is, here in the sign in, okay, I'm going to take this out. What is this? I'm going to take this out and just keep it as Apple sign in, okay? And here I'm going to go here and use Apple sign in equal to async, and I'm going to use this here, okay? Okay, the first thing is we are first using the Expo Apple Authentication library to to get the response back. Okay, if they can sign in or not, that's the first step. Okay, the second step is to retrieve the identity token from this. So if we go here and use dot, right, and use authorization code and all these things, we just need the identity token, which is the JWT. Okay, it's what JSON Web Token, which we will use to connect that with Apple Auth provider from what? From from Firebase, right? So we'll use that, and then we will connect whatever the identity token with the JWT with the Apple Auth provider, right? And then we will sign in with Firebase. So when that happens, what happens is we are getting the credentials from like Apple, and then we are sending it back to Firebase and connecting everything together, right? For that to work, we have to first create all this stuff in the Apple developer console, and then from there you have to connect the bundle ID. Okay, so what is the bundle ID? At the top you can get the bundle ID, right? So here you can see com.runix expo is the bundle identifier, so I will use that to get the bundle ID back, right? So that is the and then you get the bundle ID with all the sign in with Apple, and then connect that with this particular. Okay, go to sign in method, and then connect this with the Apple developer platform, and then you can get it working. Okay, it's same as Google Auth. Nothing changes except this particular sign in. Okay, that's it for implementing Apple authentication in Expo with Firebase. It was slightly confusing because there was no available solution in the internet, but yeah, we got it working. So that's it for Expo side. Now for bare React Native Flow, it's straightforward. Same thing, you have to first install this particular library from Invertase. Okay, once you install that library, the same process applies for what is this particular like what I can say, like Firebase and Firebase Apple provider, and then the Apple's developer console, and then you can simply use this particular button to get it working. Okay, right. The same applies there. Here we use what? We use Expo Apple Authentication. Here we use this particular provider, which is the same like what we used with Google Sign-In, and then get the auth JWT credentials back with the identity token, and then attach it with Apple Auth provider, and then sign in with Google, sign in with Firebase. Okay, so that's how you do it. The same way I already did this here, right? So yeah, that's how that's how it works. So that's it for the Apple authentication with Expo and bare React Native. So I'll share all the source code and the links in the description. You can go there and watch it. I'll see you in the next video.